On Monday, Brazil's Supreme Court ordered former President Jair Bolsonaro to be placed under house arrest amid ongoing legal proceedings over his alleged attempt to overturn the 2022 presidential election results. The case has gripped the nation since its inception in 2023 and has intensified international scrutiny, especially as it unfolds under the authority of a Supreme Court justice recently sanctioned by the Trump administration in the United States. Justice Alexandre de Moraes, who is overseeing the case, accused Bolsonaro, 70, of violating court-imposed restrictions. According to the ruling, first reported by the Associated Press, Bolsonaro used a Sunday protest in Rio de Janeiro to publicly address supporters using a cell phone owned by one of his 3 sons, all of whom are lawmakers. Bolsonaro's brief message, "Good afternoon, Copacabana. Good afternoon, my Brazil. A hug to everyone. This is for our freedom," was deemed a violation of his release conditions. Bolsonaro's legal team announced plans to appeal, arguing that the statement was symbolic, not criminal, and did not justify additional restrictions. The political stakes have now extended well beyond Brazil. The case triggered backlash from President Trump, a longtime Bolsonaro ally, who tied newly imposed U.S. tariffs on Brazilian imports to what he called an ongoing witch hunt. His remarks have further strained the already delicate diplomatic relationship between the two nations. In a pointed statement on X, the U.S. State Department's Bureau of Western Hemisphere Affairs condemned the Brazilian court's actions, writing, "Putting even more restrictions on Jair Bolsonaro's ability to defend himself in public is not a public service. Let Bolsonaro speak." The Bureau also warned that individuals involved in what it described as sanctioned behavior would be held accountable. The statement marked a sharp escalation, particularly as it followed closely on the heels of sanctions imposed by the U.S. Treasury Department under Trump's administration against Justice de Moraes. He was designated a U.S.-sanctioned human rights abuser and accused of weaponizing the judiciary to silence political opponents. Secretary of the Treasury Scott Bessent accused de Moraes of leading an unlawful crackdown. Alexandre de Moraes has taken it upon himself to be judge and jury in an unlawful witch hunt against U.S. and Brazilian citizens and companies. He is responsible for an oppressive campaign of censorship, arbitrary detentions, and politicized prosecutions, including those against former President Jair Bolsonaro, Bessent said. These sanctions were imposed under Executive Order 13818, issued during Trump's first term in 2017. This is Rachel Pierce, and you've been watching Alert Desk USA, where the facts come first. Stay safe, stay informed.